Hello everyone, welcome to the Horror Vlog.
What's up everybody? Z3 KO Trinity here. Back in August 27th of 2017, I put up the very first horror vlog video. I did not know if it would do well. I didn't care if it did well. All I cared about was being able to talk to you guys about scary stories, scary movies that I love dear, that I grew up with, and to see what you guys would say back. And if you're wondering what is a horror vlog, that's exactly what it is. It's just me expressing my love for horror movies, for horror games, anything to do with the genre, to you guys. And you guys expressing yourselves to me. I like to think of this as one of the most interactive things that I do on my channel. Because, let's face it, we all like scary stories, we all like scary movies. But there's something about the horror vlog that everyone just seems to like. And I'm sorry that it took so long, but I am finally here. And I am ready to do the horror vlog with Mr. Pumpkinhead. So everyone say hi to Mr. Pumpkinhead. Thank you. He says hi back. Now, I started the horror vlog with a question, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And the question is the same question that I asked back then. What do you love about horror? What do you love about scary movies? What do you like about scary stories? What is it about the genre that appeals to you? What is your personal connection with it? And it all started for me. I should have been more prepared, but you know what? It's whatevs. But it all started with this movie right here for me, Child's Play. And it scared the living hell out of me. I was probably 3 years old, 3 or 4 at least, enough to remember. And yeah, it did scare me. But what drew me in big time was the fact that Andy won in the end. You know, Chucky got shot in the heart, he fully died, and Andy got away. And that's what I like about horror movies. It kind of has this superhero theme to them, if you really think about it. Like Nightmare on Elm Street. It's about a monster who kills people, but in the end, he gets defeated. Like in all the Nightmare movies, you know, Nancy would defeat him. Well, not really, because she died in the third one, but still. There was always someone there to stop him, is what I'm saying. And, that's what drew me into horror movies. But as I got a little bit more mature, I liked seeing the way that they would do the kills. I like seeing it as how they film it. Like, you know, I question myself, like, how did they do this scene? What did they have to do this scene? Like, a lot of the older 80 movies was not CG. They were all man-made. And I can really appreciate the poeticness and the visual effects that they did that made the movies what they are. Like, there's a lot of iconic kills from movies, especially Friday the 13th, that we all love. Like, for example, in Friday the 13th, the scene where he has the guy up against the tree with the tree branch, and he's twisting the belt and, you know, cracks his head. That's a very iconic scene. It is simple, but very effective. Now, it didn't show the blood shooting everywhere or nothing like that, nothing over the top. But it was just clean, it was scary, and it was intense. But I like a good story with scary movies. I also like the poetic, I can't even say the word, poetry, like the poeticness of like the story, how they do things. It's stuff like that that really draws me in, and also a creep factor. Like when I see a trailer to a movie and I think, my God, that is creepy. I want to see it because the creepiness of a movie is what really draws me in. So that's why I really like scary movies. I like seeing not the kills. I love seeing death. No, I like the way that they would kill them, like how they would film it. I like the story. There are some movies where everyone died that I actually like, depending on how the story goes, but that's what really draws me in, is the creepiness of it, if it has a good story, and most of all, the hero effect, where someone saves the day at the end, where someone stops this thing at the end. That's what I like most. What about you guys? What do you guys love the most about scary movies? With video games, I like the heart raceness. Like when I'm playing a video game and the details that they put in them, the graphics, the way that they make you feel like, oh shit. You feel that terror. I like that about video games. About like action figures, it's the same. Like the details with horror figures. But movies is my favorite thing about the whole genre. And like I said, thanks to Child's Play, that's what drew me in. And speaking of Child's Play, I'm going to do a review of the new Child's Play movie. But I also have a special guest with me to do the review. I actually did this video a couple of months ago, but it still stands, my review for it still stands strong. And I'm going to play that video for you and talk a little bit more afterwards. Because I had watched this again since then, and I want to give you guys a fresh heads up and see if it still lives to my review. So here is my review with my brother, Batman Dragon. What's up, everybody? Z3 KO Trinity here. I'm here with a super special guest, Batman Dragon.
Yay.
And I'm even here with a super special guest, Chucky. And today we're going to be trying milk. Vitamin D, bitch.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
You get ready to eat some cereal.
Woo!
It's cold.
Now, we're actually trying Good Guy Doll cereal.
We're eating his insides.
For those of you who have lived under a rock your entire life, Child's Play is one of my absolute favorite movies, if not the favorite movie. And the most iconic scene to me was always the beginning when Andy was fixing... Oh, hell no. Get out, LB. Ooh, sorry about that.
Milk is cold.
Oh, sorry. As I was saying, the most iconic... But, the most iconic scene for me was always seeing Andy fix that breakfast for his mom.
With the burnt toast, the cereal.
So you know what I'm going to do after this video?
Reenact that.
I'm going to reenact that. I'm going to make the exact
with
cereal for my mama
in bed.
in bed. We're going to go the whole 9 yards. Alright, so let's have a look at the box. We're going to show the whole thing here. We got Good Guy Doll, Want to Play, naturally artificially flavored cereal with marshmallows. Can't go wrong with that.
So it's just
gives
Lucky
you
Charms.
more power. It looks like Trix mixed with Lucky Charm marshmallows.
Oh, yeah. Vitamin fortified.
Very sugar coated.
Apparently, Good Guy Adventures is on the back. And it's got
You got like a little puzzle game you can do, which is kind of cool. There's 3 games you can do with this. 1, help the babysitter out the window. 2, visit Charles' partner, Eddie Caputo. Or 3, take a ride with Detective Norris. Achieve all 3 goals without using the same path twice. That's pretty cool. It's based on Chucky from Child's Play 2, Bride of Chucky 3, and Seed of Chucky, apparently.
Which were horrible movies.
Mm-hmm.
First 2 were great. Third one and on was a disaster.
It says here in the corner, Good Guy Adventures. Help Charles Lee Ray escape the police. Adventure number 103. So,
and also he tore the box open just to get to it. This is not a collectible thing.
Yep, I
Oh,
did
he's got
tear
a
the
collectible
box,
box.
but don't worry, I do have another box of cereal for collective purposes. Look at
such
that
a small ass bag.
That's a little
They're like Ziploc. Yeah, like
yeah, that's what you get, guys. Half
yeah,
air.
Like that's not half air. They give you the half of the bag, and then they half the half of that bag. Like that's ridiculous.
All right, well I can see the marshmallows.
How much cost you?
$12.
$12.
Yeah.
Heck, my Lucio O's were $4, and it was a double pack.
All right. Everything's going all haywire.
Jake was not prepared with scissors. But you don't have any scissors anymore, apparently. LB's butt.
LB's ass gets the scissors now. Alright, smell
LB
first.
likes the scissor.
Mmm, that smells pretty good. Smells just like
Mess.
sugary cereal. Smells like sugar.
I was made a mess right there.
Alright, here we go. Get me a little bit. I don't need much. All a white boy needs is just a little bit.
Ready to grab the top of the bag.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright. What does it smell like to you, Jeremy? First sniff.
First sniff, okay. That was
Smells like
actually my
sugar.
first sniff, but this is my second. It smells like all the other cereals based on characters, like the Lucio O's and the Batman cereal. It pretty much all smells the same.
So just sugar.
Just straight sugar and a fruit-flavored replica that's not real.
Alright. Douse. I don't know if you guys like your cereal with milk, but I do.
Yeah, well, water is the only other option, and I think that's just nasty.
I drank it.
Woo!
Drank it.
That is so cold.
I ate cereal once with a Yahoo because desperate times called for desperate
I have drank
measures.
cereal with almond milk,
But
and that's gross. All right,
found the cereal.
so yeah, it looks kind of like Trix
Okay.
with the smell of Lucio.
Alright, I'm gonna get a good bite. You ready? I said you're ready. He's like, oh. Mmm. Mmm. That's so good. Mmm. Damn, that's good.
All right.
Man, I would buy this on a weekly basis. I would. I'd be fatter in the house. Hashtag he already is.
I mean,
But when it all
Look, it's
comes
Fruit
down
Loops.
to it, it tastes exactly like Fruit Loops. So does he buy Fruit Loops on a daily basis?
I mean,
Only if they had marshmallows.
there is Fruit Loop marshmallows now. So
You want some Chucky? Let's feed some to Chucky. All right, come on, Chucky now. Nom, 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 nom. Now, what do you think? Let's click the button and see.
whoa!
Oh, let's click this button.
Now, doll, now sit back and learn from the master.
Oh, he apparently liked it.
Yeah, that visual did not look good. Let me just turn it on.
Is this how you turn them on?
I don't know about him, but it might turn me on. No.
Mm.
I mean,
We have
it's
just
okay.
Fruit Loops with marshmallows. It's really good.
I mean, I like it the more the milk sits in it.
Okay.
Because that first bite was just rough.
And now, I'm going to do a review for you guys on the new Child's Play movie. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil nothing because this guy hasn't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it yet.
So don't worry, it's not going to be spoilers and it's not going to be long. Fiance holding the camera. Give me that look like you and your reviews. First of all, let's go ahead and get out of our minds the original movie, because most people, when they go to see a remake, they're already hating it because, you know, we already have the movie from back then. And you're like, no matter what, it's not going to be good enough. It's not going to be good like the first one. So let's just go ahead and get that thought out of our heads, and let's try to think of this as a brand new movie, okay? When I went in watching it, I had high hopes for this movie because I'm a big Child's Play fan, but, you know, it's literally a new movie. It's like nothing to do with the original story of Child's Play. But, with that being said, the doll itself did look kind of stupid. I will admit I did not like the design of the Buddy doll, but I do like the concept that it literally just wants to be the best friend. Even that looked better than the Buddy doll. But I like how he really just wanted to be its best friend. That's, all the doll really wants. Now, in the original, of course, Charles Lee Ray puts his soul
Charles Lee
into
Ray
it.
isn't in it?
No. Nobody puts their soul in this doll at all. But
Spoiler.
the doll itself was very cool. I liked how it was watching, like he'll watch a scene on TV of these people doing this move with like some kind of, it was like a football move. He was like doing this with a football, and then Chucky kind of like looks over at knives, and he moves his hand like this, as if, foreshadowing like learning how to stab. I thought that, little details leading up was really good. All in all, I thought it was a great movie. Is it the best movie in the world? No. It really picks up after half of the movie is already in play. But as far as the characters go, I wasn't really bored with any character. As far as the story goes, I thought it was a great story. And I just thought that there was a lot of badass scenes.
And I'm going to intervene as someone who's never watched the movie and can't really make an opinion about the movie, but I will say that if they would have just left Chucky off the top of this movie and named it something completely different, people would have enjoyed this movie 10 times better because it's not Chucky. Like, to them, when they think of Child's Play and Chucky, they're expecting the Charles Lee Ray, possess the doll, wants the soul of a child, all that stuff. And so when you put that name attached to it and you make a completely different story that's not even the same story in any way, shape, or form, I think in that aspect, you're not doing the film any justice, and it'd been better if you would have just named it, like, Alan, or Susie, or
Alan.
Betty, anything.
Come in the theaters near you, Alan.
And I think that all that the person who made this movie did was put the name of Chucky on it for it's Child's Play, everyone, come watch the movie about Chuck. It's for that purpose, and it really wasn't necessary, I think.
My things I didn't like about it was that I didn't like how Chucky didn't have an iconic laugh. He did have a little laugh, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't like. And Mark Hamill did the voice, so it should have been perfect. It should have been like. Should have been like.
Well, Mark Hamill did a great job. Don't get me wrong. I personally loved the way he did the character.
You watched it.
This is what my son's gonna look like. Just she rolled her eyes.
Well, at first, whenever I said you could have named it something different, I was going to say Dexter at first, but then I was like, that's already a movie.
But the other thing I didn't quite like about it is the fact that Andy seems to be too old. Like, I feel it would have been more scarier if it was like a younger kid. Yeah, a younger kid.
Was he like 13 or 14?
He looked like he was about 13. So he's like the age that you shouldn't really be hanging around with toys.
What age are you supposed to be hanging out with toys? I don't think I did that either.
But, and I kind of wish that there was a little bit more death in the movie. I know it sounds bad, but it had very little death scenes.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's another thing. Like, Chucky's all about the kills. It's a serial killer movie, just like any other.
But the pros, like I said, I like how Chucky legitimately just wants to be this kid's best friend. I do like the friendship that they form in the movie. I do like how it ended. I like how Chucky became smart. He wasn't so smart in the beginning, but he gets fixed, and once he gets fixed, it's kind of pretty badass from there. No, not like fix, like,
Just snip it off.
no reproducing for you, little man. But, yeah, I would give this movie a fair rating of a 7 out of 10. Because there's just a lot that wasn't really that great about it, but it still was a great movie to me.
If you want a real good movie, go watch Us. No,
Or not.
that's a good movie.
But that was my review on Child's Play. And thank you for being in this little segment of mine, good sir. And if you guys want to try out the Child's Play cereal, I would highly recommend
Jacob's
it.
doing the giveaway. We're going to give away
She's
this already pre-opened bag.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, I might spit in the box.
And we'll send you this milk.
I'll send you the rest of this milk.
It's a lot of milk.
But not the jug, so it's just milk. I'll pour it out in the box. I'll show you. I'll pour it in the box and send it y'all's way.
God, it would have to be someone.
So yeah, that was my review of the Child's Play movie. After watching it a second time with my fiance, I still really loved this movie. It isn't as impressive as the original was, but like I said in the review, if you throw out all your knowledge of the original and don't even try to compare it, as a standalone movie, I thought it did good. My only complaint, and this was same with Alexis, is her biggest complaint is the way they made the doll look. I felt they could have done a better job with it. But, for what we got, I still think it was a good story. I do love the relationship, or the friendship, between Andy and Chucky. Andy's mom is hot as hell. And, yeah, I just like it. The only thing that I quite didn't like is how cheesy the ending was. When his friends got those weapons out of nowhere and was just... I felt like that part was really stupid myself. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. So I would solidly give this a 9 out of 10. For the little details, I can't give it a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I hope you guys like the movie. And I really do like the nice cover. And one thing I didn't mention in my review is at the very end, as the credits are playing, it sings the Buddy song. But at the very end, he sings it more sinister. And I just felt like that was a really cool hidden Easter egg within the movie. I also didn't like how they tried to do all the Chucky quotes right there at that last scene when they're finally, fighting against him. This is the end. And, you don't fuck with Andy or something like that. I can't remember how she said it, but I hate how they try to do all those famous Child's Play quotes. Throw them in there but screw them up. So that was kind of stupid, but other than that, I really liked the movie. What's that, Mr. Troll? You want to see some Stephen King stuff? Me too! So my next question for you guys is, who would win into a fight to the death? We've got Tim Curry from 1990 versus Tim Curry. Not Tim... It's just him in a wheelchair. Motherfucker! I meant to say Tim Curry's Pennywise from the 1990s versus Tim Curry... Damn it, I did it again. Bill Skarsgård, for Jesus Christ's sakes. Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise. Alright, Tim Curry's Pennywise versus Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. Who would win in a fight between those two? Now, really think about it, and I know most people would immediately like to say, oh, Bill Skarsgård would win. And it is probably true. On a scare factor, that is a way more intense Pennywise than Tim Curry's version. Because, see, Tim Curry in those movies, which it was limited, because it was an actual TV miniseries, so they couldn't really show detail of much of anything. So, whenever you see him, he would, just transform, do that thing, and it never really showed him, actually kill any children or anything like that. So, it's very limited. Versus Bill Skarsgård, where it shows him being intense, shows him ripping the arm off of Georgie, and all that. But, if you've seen both movies, take into consideration how they defeated Pennywise in both movies. Me personally, I feel like Tim Curry's version put up more of a fight, really. Once you've seen the new movie and how they were able to defeat him, it doesn't seem that scary of a creature at all, you know? But if you can't take that in consideration, you know, Tim Curry's Pennywise was more powerful in that way, in his true form, I guess. But as far as like draining the fear out of these children, like what he's willing to do, Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is way worse. Like, you know, he literally became the leper and was wanting to stick his tongue down Richie's, or not Richie, but Eddie's throat. So, like, he's willing to do anything to get that fear. Whereas Tim Curry, he just, you know, messed with him, and then he did that little change thing, and then that's it. He became Gene Simmons. So, but I saw Kiss in concert. That was badass. That's why I got the shirt on. I'm representing! But, yeah. Who do you guys think would win in a brawl between those two? And now, while you're thinking of that, I'm going to get into the review. The reviewski of Stephen King's It, Chapter 2. Stephen King's It, Chapter 2 was by far one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, he says that just about every movie. Well, this movie is the creme de la creme. It is now one of my absolute favorite horror movies ever made. It's everything I loved about the book into life. That director did such a great job with that movie. If I had to do a book versus movie review from this book against that movie, in a lot of ways that movie will win. The book, however, still stands strong because I personally love this book. Now, keep in mind, guys, that last time I read this book was in 2007. So that's been 12 years. So my memory of every detail of this book ain't really that great. So if I say something that, you know, isn't right, please let me know. But I love how they made this movie really similar to the book. I like the totems that they had to find. I love that whole ritual they had to do. I just loved everything about that. I also love the fact that it came back to the children in this movie as well. Because I was thinking, you know, this is all going to be grown up only, and that it really ain't going to be that good of a movie. Because, let's face it, the most scary things about Stephen King's It was when they were kids. But this movie delivered highly. I'm going to try not to spoil like too much. So if you guys don't want to hear about the full movie, I'm going to start right here. I'm going to put my thumb up. And then when I'm completely done talking about the movie, I'll put my thumb down. So that way you guys know that I'm done with spoiling. Okay? So if you want to mute your thing, you can. I know a good friend, Isaac, he doesn't like to hear any reviews on anything because he wants to be fully immersed with the whole movie. He don't like trailers or nothing, which is fine because trailers often do give away all the scariest scenes in movies. So we'll start now. My absolute favorite scene of the movie was the girl with the raspberry, where he's like 1, 2, and then he just kind of paused, and she's like, aren't you supposed to say 3? And then just clamped down. I was like, dear Jesus! But I knew this was going to be an intense movie from the very get-go. When I saw the 2 gay guys, I was like, it's going to be exactly like the book. And that movie delivered. Another favorite scene of that movie was the whole entire Beverly Marsh and Miss Kirsch. That whole entire scene was the best. I just loved how she came out naked looking like a demonic creature. And then when she turned around, it was Bill Skarsgård without makeup, he pinches his cheeks, the blood runs down. That whole entire thing was beautiful. I loved the way they filmed that. It was incredibly good. There's just so many good scenes about this movie. Do you, Alexis, have a favorite scene of that movie that you know right off the top?
I don't know. I can't think of one off the top.
All right.
But it was just all good.
Yeah, I loved that movie completely. I'm not trying to purposely block her out, guys. I just wanted to get her little troll in here because she likes that.
One of the scenes that I thought was cool was like basically any of the flashbacks when they were kids of Pennywise going after them that we didn't see in the first movie.
Yeah, that was great. I'm very glad they added more to the children's story versus the adults. Mm-hmm.
Especially Ben's.
Yeah. That whole entire movie was incredible. And every time we saw Ben, we're like, oh, it's Vincent from Beauty and the Beast. So it's kind of funny to see that. But the actors did an incredible job. It was cool to see the original Ben Hanscom, the little boy from the original 1990 series in the movie. Yep, credit goes to her. She's the one that pointed him out.
That's my talent.
There are a lot of hidden Easter eggs in that movie. Some I did catch, but I really want to watch the movie again to see them all. But I absolutely love how the movie ends. That's the biggest thing between the book versus this movie is how it ends. And I love, and it's still the running joke of, Bill Denbrough's, the ending to his books suck. Like, he's good for everything but the ending. Well, I felt that way about this book. Sorry, Steven. Don't thumbs down me on Facebook. Because, I love this story, but I hate how depressing it ends. Like, when all of them forget each other, you have such a strong friendship, a strong bond between each other, how are you just going to forget it? Now, I understand you want to forget the most terrifying time in your life, but I still think that they should have been able to remember each other, and that's what this movie did. It connected them all and kept them as friends, kept them in touch. They might have forgotten a little bit about Pennywise, but they didn't forget each other. And I like that. Second thing I liked most, now here's where it kicks in the whole, I haven't read that book in a while, because I can't remember if they put Stan in a better position in the book, so I can't really remember that part. But in the movie, in the original 1990 movie where Stan kills himself, they kind of make it seem in that movie as like he was a big wuss. That he just did it because he wanted to back out of the whole ordeal. They never really, he was just a big pussy. And he just exited out like that. But I love in this movie how they give him credit. Like, he did it knowing that he can defeat Pennywise that way. He knew that one of them had to at least be dead in order to do it. So he did it as a strategy. And his spirit, in the movie spoke to Richie. He's what brought him back. And I feel like so glad. And the whole letter that they had found of him when he wrote to him, that was just poetic. Like, I'm so happy that they gave Stan more credit in this. And once again, it's been 12 years since I read the book. So comment below and say, that's in the book. And if it is, that's great. Because I can't really remember. But I personally love how they gave Stan more credit. I can go on and on. I'll go ahead and thumbs down. Alright. Welcome back, guys. I can go on and on about this story. But all I'm going to say is, this is one of my top favorite movies ever. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing. So thumbs up again. Another favorite thing is Stephen King's appearance. From the minute he walked in that store and the guy spoke, I was like, that's Stephen King right there. And just seeing him in Stephen King's It, that was the biggest thing. The original one it was missing was Stephen King himself. And he just did such a wonderful job as the guy. Like, he could not have been a more better person in that whole movie than that guy. Just, wow. I love that scene more than anything. Loved it. All right. So yeah, I would give this movie 1,000 out of 10 because it's just a masterpiece of the creme de la creme. And there are rumors that they're going to make a third movie. And I'm thinking, why? Like, why ruin it? And it even speculated that it's going to be a prequel of his whole origin. And I feel that's stupid. Because we got his story in this movie. We understand how he was created in this movie. So I feel like another one would just be overkill. So I don't personally think they should go for another one. This was perfect the way it was. Loved everything about it. Still, there's going to be people who didn't, and that's understandable. Everyone is different. So please comment below if you did not like this movie. Please comment below your reason why. And please don't everyone hate on them or nothing like that, because I don't want people to hate. The only reason why I'm asking you to do this is because I want a chance to see your point of view. If you really didn't like the movie and felt it could have been better, voice your opinion. You know, because that's what I like to do with my horror vlogs. I like to interact with people and we all get our opinions. And Lord knows nobody likes my opinion, on soaps at least. All the hate I'm getting on my soap videos, damn. But yeah, the movie was great. This book is great. I'm going to read this book again because it's been so long. I want to read this one. And speaking of reading Stephen King, I am 80 pages in on his new Institute, and it is really good. Like, really good. It's got me interested. It mostly has a Firestarter feel, but it's a little bit more interesting than the way Firestarter began. Because when I read Firestarter, it really didn't, like, hold my attention. And the first 100 pages of that book felt like it took me a million years to read them. But this book, I read the 80 pages in, what seemed to be in no time. So yeah, I want to keep reading this one. It's really good so far. But yeah, Pennywise versus Pennywise. Me personally, I feel like Bill Skarsgård would have the upper hand because he could be able to defeat at least the imagery of the clown. But I don't know, because the way that they defeated him, I'm still rooting for Tim Curry's. Tim Curry did a good job playing Pennywise. I'm not knocking him at all. And I really love how they kept certain scenes from the movies separate. Like the shower scene with Eddie. We don't need to see that because we already seen that movie. We already, they made a whole movie of that shower scene. It was really weird. No, we've seen that, And I liked how they, stupid gnats. Little bastards is what they are. Did I swallow it? No? Okay. That done threw me off. Sorry, guys. I'm not knocking Tim Curry's performance at all. Like, he did a good job playing as him. And I'm really glad that they kept a lot of the scenes separate, because it was really a chance to show the entirety of the story. But, my God, they just did a fantastic job on the new It movies. Just such a good job. But anyway, that's my review for Pennywise. The only other question I would have is if Pennywise really existed. If this thing really existed, and it shows you, it knows what you're afraid of. What would it show for you guys? Like, if it was in your town, if it was trying to get to you, what do you think it would show you? Like, would it show you this creepy-ass troll I have here? Would it show, a clown? Would it show your stepfather? Extreme there. I mean, just, you know, you don't have to put nothing personal. Just, like, what would it take to scare you? Really, I'm Pennywise. I just need some help, guys. Nah, I love it. And I want to show you guys the figures real quick to kind of compare. Well, shit. Alright. See, we got the 1990s version, Pennywise, right here. For those who haven't, it's been a while. Which I'm showing you guys the images, but I just wanted to show off my figures. And there's the new Pennywise. I know they made a couple more that I really want. But, yeah. What do you guys think? And, if you have any more questions based on this, feel free to comment below. Because I will chat with you guys. Alright, and that's my review of Stephen King's It. Welcome back. This is the part of the horror vlog that I like to call the horror product review, where I'm going to review to you guys one of my figures, one of my horror merchandise, whatever I have that is horror. And today I wanted to start things off with the new Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginnings Roy figure. This is what the front looks like, which is the front of the movie. Got the side view with him right there. This is the back of the box, which shows more detail. It's got him holding the flare. It's got Roy unmasked, which is really badass. What I liked most about this figure. It's got him with the bloody machete, the knife, and the hedge clippers, which is really awesome. I wished, and I'm going to show you the guys the figure. Right here it is. What's behind him? But, yeah, I wish that they would have displayed the figure with the actual head, like, without the mask on him. Like, the mask could be, like, somewhere on the side. Because I would like to see the Roy face. The rest of the Jason NECA figures, you can open up and see the hockey mask. So I wish that it could have been displayed like that, because I'm not going to open this. But if you guys want to see what he looks like, he's going to be right here. So that's what he looks like without the mask and stuff. It also comes with a butcher cleaver. The flare, like I said, a random knife, hedge clipper, the little tent stake right there. What's badass is the tree branch with the belt. That was an iconic kill of that movie. And yeah, the figure itself looks really nice. I mean, the body is basically the same build as all the other Jason NECA figures. The mask is really spot on. I mean, just everything about it is really badass. So I'm definitely going to give this figure a 10 out of 10. Simply because of the detail that they put on the Roy face and the parts from the movie. It says here, A New Beginning, still haunted by his past, Tommy Jarvis, who as a child killed Jason Voorhees, wonders if the serial killer is connected to a series of brutal murders occurring in and around the secluded halfway house where he now lives. Includes spike, cleaver, flare, knife, hedge trimmers, machete, spear, garrote, whatever that is, and removable mask. Garrote, or however you say it. But, yeah, that's the product of the week, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you want to represent a product. Scheme! Hey, why wait till the weekend? It's 5 a.m. somewhere! Right now I'm going to do a movie review on the movie Ma. That's right, that's where the quote is from. Like my Headless Horseman, he's here to help me talk about Ma. Oh, that movie Ma. That was a pretty intense movie. Like, I felt when I was watching the movie, I felt like I was really hyping up the movie myself, but it really wasn't really all that scary. It really didn't live up to my expectation. Like, I was more afraid of the things that didn't happen in this movie than the things that actually did. And even the plot twist of the movie wasn't really that scary either. Like, it wasn't really that much of a plot twist. Alexis, she full out didn't like the movie, which is understandable. I still like the movie, but I don't know. It wasn't the best. And I'm going to get into why I don't like it and why I do like it. All right. If you don't know what it's about is this kid. She's new to the town and she starts making these friends who like to party. And they invite her to this place where they're all going to get together and do some drinking and having some fun. Maybe do a little orgies. Maybe sprinkle some sugar on them Oreos. But they need someone to buy them beer because they're underage. They're like 5 years old. I'm just kidding. So they go up to random people and they're trying to get them to buy them beer. No one's giving them the time of day. Well, this really nice woman starts walking through and they ask her and she's like, fuck off. But, they go back and they still talk to her and she's like, okay, I was young once too, so I'll do it. And she buys them beer. Well, she kind of sees herself in them because she actually partied with a bunch of friends at the same spot that they did. So she bought them beer. Well, one thing leads to another, and she's like, if I buy you guys drinks, why don't you come down to my place? You can be safe there and, do what you want. They do. They have a good time. She says, I only have one rule. Do not go upstairs whatsoever. You could shit on the carpet. Don't go upstairs. So they followed the rule. They did all that. And every weekend they would come by and do the same. Well, Ma, which is what she wants them to call her, ends up being a little unstable. And yeah, shit happens. You like my review? But that's my simple review of it. For those who haven't seen it yet. I pretty much described literally the trailer. Okay. But if I'm going to go in further detail, so once again, if you don't want to hear about it, I'm going to give the thumbs up when I start, and then thumbs down when I'm done. Alright? So, thumbs up. Alright. The intensity of this movie is really great. And I like how Ma calls the cops, or calls the boy's father, lets him know where his son is. He calls the cops and gets, all them into trouble and all that stuff. Well, that's where Ma comes in. She's like, well, y'all can party at my place. And she seems like a really nice person. Like, she really, in the beginning of the movie, just wanted to chill with them. Like, she had no beef, no nothing like that with them. What really started turning her was when she realized that these kids were the young generation of these so-called friends that she had had back in the day when she was in school. And so she starts getting a little aggressive with them. And I think what really throws her off is the simple fact that she is reminded of that one moment that she had in school. That's what really sets her off. Now, I kind of agree with Alexis. Yeah, giving the wrong guy a blowjob in the, what was it, the janitor's closet? Basically, yeah. Instead of, that's like it's not like a harmless prank. It is embarrassing. But how many years ago was that? Like 20? Jesus Christ. Like, now, if they would have full-on raped her in that thing, then yeah, I would kind of understand all them buried feelings, coming out and snapping. But I don't think that was too good of a motive to really do what she did. At least not to the kids. Now, given that, I do think what really pissed her off about the kids was when the girl said, everyone unfollow Ma, don't go to her house anymore and stuff like that. So that kind of pushes her over the edge and makes her get more involved with the kids. Now, the intensity of the movie was really good. The whole entire time I was just sitting there like, oh shit, what's she gonna do? And, you know, they do show the worst kill in the entire movie. Like the biggest deals of this movie they showed in the trailer. One, her running over the whore. The girl that, literally, when you first meet her, she's giving a blowjob to Luke Evans' character. And then, like, through the whole entire movie, she's just this drunk bimbo that's with him. So when she runs her over, you know, nobody cares. But that was one of the most extreme parts of the movie, shown in a trailer. Second is when, you know, the blonde-haired girl said, everyone block her, everyone don't go to her. She, you know, drugs them all, and she's like, I need to shut you up. And she sews her mouth shut. Once again, in the trailer. So the two biggest parts of the whole movie, in my personal opinion, like the most extreme things, if they would not have shown that in the trailer, and it showed her sewing her mouth, I would have been, like, way more terrified. But I knew it was coming, so kind of ruined the opportunity there. So that's one thing I didn't like about it. The second thing I really didn't like about it was the big plot twist. You know, don't go upstairs. That's the number one rule. Don't go upstairs. The whole entire time I thought maybe she had someone kidnapped.
I agree.
It's like, you know, I thought it was going to be something really extreme. And technically she did have someone kidnapped. But it turned out to be her own daughter, who happens to be sick. She was the girl in the beginning of the movie, the only one that the new girl is nice to. I mean, that's the big plot twist. Her daughter is sick somehow. And what did you say? You thought that maybe she was like the one girl. What was her name? Or her mom made her think she was her. Yeah, Gypsy Rose. She thought it was a whole Gypsy Rose story where the girl was actually fine, but her mom's like, oh no, you're sick. You need to stay in this wheelchair. Which technically it was based on the alternative ending, because you saw her at the party in the alternate ending.
Well, I thought she was like a Gypsy Rose thing because the girl could walk. And I don't know, it was just weird. Like, she'd give her medicine that it didn't seem like she really needed. She'd lock her upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
Yeah, but for a plot twist, I felt that was really weak.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's one of those movies that's, like, really intimidating in your own mind. But when you actually watch it, you're like, well, this ain't really nothing. Like, a child wrote this movie.
Yeah, because she didn't even kill any of the kids.
No. Like, the only person that died, the only three people that died in this movie was Luke Evans, which, you know, that was supposed to be one of the biggest, you know, I felt like it was going to be one of the most fucked up parts of the whole movie. But the way she did him in the end with the whole cutting his wrist and having an IV, what was the point in that? Like, is it supposed to just keep him alive longer? Like, even when all his blood is drained, they have that access one? So he just suffers more? I don't know. I felt like she should have just cut his dick off. As extreme as it was, I was like, yeah, it showed it.
Well,
she was like,
should have just cut it off.
That's what I thought. Like, I don't want to see it. I wasn't sitting there like, please do it. I was just like, you know, like, I was like that. I was like, oh my god, what's this crazy bitch doing? And then when she did that, I was like, well, he kind of got away. This damn gnats pissed me off. So anyway, the moral of the story is, if I was to give... plus, I don't like the ending. I'm not going to say what it was because I already gave a thumbs down. But the ending was really disappointing too. I just did not like how it ended at all. So if I had to rate this movie, I probably would have given it a 5 out of 10. And the only reason why it's that high is because I like the quotes in it. And I just like the character of Ma. I thought that they did a really good job. Like, the actress that played her did a good job as her. She really was creepy when it needed to be. It's just a little, like the whole plot is just bad in a way. So just the little details that they could have like twerked a little bit more could have made it a lot better, in my opinion. Still a good movie. I still probably will get it to add to the collection. I definitely liked it more than I did Us. I will say that. But it's got to be a 5-star movie for me. So yeah, that's my review of Mama. And that about wraps things up for the first horror vlog. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Part of the horror vlog for so long. I'm sorry it took me so long to do the horror vlog. But what a better time than the first day of October. And I'm going to try to do this as a weekly thing, especially if you guys really like this video and want me to continue on. I tried to do a little bit more of a podcast style, so that way you can still see me. I'm still doing stuff, but I wanted to be able to, like, even if you couldn't see, if you just want to listen to it, I wanted it to be kind of like a podcast style. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please let me know if you didn't, if there's anything that you didn't like. I will try to fix and stuff like that. But really, the horror vlog is just something special that, you know, I always liked about my channel. And yeah, they did take away the live interaction, which, you know, sucks horribly, but I just love the horror vlog. It's a way for me to connect with you guys on a whole different level about the things that we love. And there is one big announcement I wanted to make to you guys. And I definitely need your help with this one. So if you do not comment for anything else in this video, please comment this. I am going to be doing a top 100 best horror movie video. There's going to be 2 videos, 100 through 50 and 49 through 1. And no, I ain't going to be like, oh, and number 1 is Child's Play, because that's my personal favorite. I want you guys, what I want you guys to do is comment below your top 10 favorite horror movies. And I want you to nominate, you know, your 10 favorite movies. And if I see a movie like, you know, if 700 people comment, yeah, right. But if a lot of people comment and the same names of the movies are on like a bunch of the lists, like if we have 700 comments and Halloween is mentioned on 665 of them, obviously that's going to be like at least in the top 10, maybe even the top 3 if that's the case. But I'm going to have the guys I work with do a list. I'm going to have my family do a list. I'm going to have, you know, a lot of people doing their top 10s. And if you want to just throw in 3 single movies as just a nomination, like I think this movie has to be on somewhere in that 100, you can do that as well. But yes, I'm going to try my best, unless I have my baby, on Halloween. That's when I'm going to upload the videos. So yes, I need you guys to start now. Comment below on this video and tell me your top 10. And I will put together a really good top 100. Because the last top 100 that I seen was back when I was about 18. So that's been a while. And they had shit on there like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And, you know, just stupid shit like that. So I wanted to do an up-to-date one. Because there's been so many great movies since that list came out. I believe number 1 on that list was Exorcist. If I'm not mistaken, the number 1 movie was Exorcist in that one. Which Exorcist stands the test of time, is a great horror movie. But we got the new It Chapter 2. We have the Conjuring movies out now. I mean, we got so many really good movies to add to this list. So please, let me know in the comment section below your top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching the horror vlog. I am Z3 KO Trinity, and I hope to see you guys next week for the episode 2 of the horror vlog. Until then, I guess see y'all in the next video. Say hi, Slappy.